Hello, dear friends, and welcome to tonight's ceremony. This full moon has the sun in the sign of Cancer and the moon in its opposite sign, Capricorn. We also just celebrated the summer solstice on the 20th of June. So I'd like to say just a few words about that before we begin our discussion of the full moon energies. Solstice times are always a good time to release anything from the past that's holding you back so that you can begin a new chapter with the change of the seasons. What has meaning in your life, and where do you want to spend your energy, and with whom? These are the questions you will want to ponder until the time of the equinox in September, when we will face another reset. Before we go into the details of Cancer and Capricorn, I'd like to quote two astrologers, Yasmin Boland and Andre Barbal, who give us an overview of the entire energy of the month. And I quote, "The sky for July 2026 is loaded. This is rare. This is big. Several outer planets are converging all within days of each other. 4 of these planets align at the same degree, simultaneously. The cosmos essentially decided to drop an entire year or two's worth of astrology in a single week, the week of July 20th. The reason this is so unusual is that these are not fast-moving planets having a quick chat. These are the slow giants of the solar system, the ones whose cycles span decades, sometimes generations. And when several of them form harmonious aspects at the same time, we pay attention. The nature of this energy is extraordinary. Andre described this configuration as the most beautiful of the entire 21st century. He called it a reflowering, a relaunch of civilization after a long period of contraction. His view was that this would mark the end of a major cycle of collective crisis and the beginning of something genuinely new. A very loose translation of what this might mean is humanity gets an update, the future arrives faster than expected, innovation meets spirituality, dream the dream, culture changes aesthetic, power structures wobble, and new ones form. Creative breakthroughs go mainstream. People collectively realize that burnout isn't aspirational. Technology starts searching for meaning. And spirituality gets smarter. Think of this as a global rebrand. Sorry. All right, we'll try again. The throat is a little raspy. The boundaries between science, spirituality, technology, and mystery become thinner under these skies. What has felt separate, head and heart, ancient and modern, individual and collective, starts to feel more integrated. End of quote. So, my friends, as we ride these energies throughout the year, let us keep in mind these powerful, positive aspects that are emerging. So sorry about this throat thing. The allergies are kicking up. Now, on to the full moon that is exact at 4:57 p.m. tomorrow. One of the symbols of the Cancer personality is the crab, who's concerned only with survival and protecting his home. As we anticipate the birth of our nation on July 4th, I think it's interesting to remember how prominent Cancer is in the US chart. If you take the date of the Declaration of Independence as the time of the nation's birth, we as a nation have a Cancer sun. Washington, D.C. is ruled by Cancer at the level of the soul, and New York has a Cancer personality. People, states, countries are all living entities with souls and personalities. These are ruled by certain signs. In the book called The Destiny of Nations, Alice Bailey says, quote, "It is this fact of the Cancer sun which leads the U.S. to act like the crab and be preoccupied with its own house, which it carries on its back. As the nation's power shifts, the Cancerian influence will steadily lessen, and the country will take its place as an adult among the nations," end quote. So it appears that we are still very much in the adolescent phase, being controlled mostly by the personality energy of Cancer. The benefits are that we have an integrated family in the US, but as we mature, the Aquarian soul of our nation will come into stronger expression, leading to a recognition of a greater spiritual family as opposed to the biological family. There is so much fear in the world today, and Cancer is a sign that can accentuate our survival issues. Always, survival issues are based on fear. We feel these instincts in our belly, our solar plexus, and because the moon is the ruler of Cancer, we can feel it on our sacral center, which is directly connected to the moon. How can we shift these old attitudes and fears and open to the love, the nurturing, and the abundance of the heart? That is the challenge this month. Love and nurturing are the higher qualities of Cancer. How do we embody these qualities in the midst of so much fear? Pema Chodron, the Buddhist teacher, says, this is what it means to be human. First, we acknowledge the fear, and then we place that fearful mind in the cradle of loving kindness, in the cradle of the spacious, open heart. From the astrological perspective, the phrase associated with Cancer is, "I build a lighted house, and therein dwell." What is this lighted house? Since Cancer is the mother of form, we will use it to represent our physical nature. How much light do we hold in our bodies? What makes a lighted house? It is the light of the soul pouring through our body. We can invoke this light. We can call it in. We can ask that it shine its light on all the dark and unillumined places within us. Where are we fearful? Where are we stuck? Where are we filled with negativity and judgment? What are we avoiding, neglecting, casting into the shadows? These are important questions for us to ask ourselves this month. Can we just stay with the fear, the darkness, and not run away? We can call on the light of the soul to illuminate those dark places so that we can see more clearly. We can try to observe from a higher perspective. We can learn about our fear if we just become curious about it, rather than running away and shutting down or numbing ourselves. What can it teach us? In the book Esoteric Astrology, Alice Bailey says, quote, "If it is a lighted house, you will attract to its light and warmth all who are around you, and the magnetic pull of your soul, whose nature is light and love, will save many," end quote. Cancer's opposite sign, Capricorn, is an earth sign, while Cancer is a water sign. Earth signs symbolize stability, firmness, while water signs symbolize fluidity. Cancer must learn to find her home in the earth, to become grounded in physical reality. Capricorn needs Cancer's fluidity to not become rigid. Capricorn represents fearlessness and strength, while Cancer fears loss and is possessive. Capricorn represents the father of everything that is, spirit. Cancer represents the mother of form, the maternal nature. For the Cancer person, there will always be tension between father energy and mother energy, between spirit and matter, between the collective and the individual. Cancer needs to go down to the mother, to the source of life. And then, having established a firm base, a foundation, she must move upward to conscious, autonomous individuality, represented by Capricorn. She must disassociate from dependence on the collective, on the mass consciousness, on what other people think, and have the courage to swim against the current. She must leave the safe nest to become the independent individual. On the astrological chart, Cancer sits at the bottom of the chart in the 4th house that she rules. Capricorn sits at the top of the chart, ruling the 10th house. Cancer is symbolic of the deepest layers of our being, the collective unconscious. It is by traveling here that we recognize our primal source. It is the home of the mother, the earth. But then we must ascend to Capricorn to assert our conscious individuality. How do I stand in my own power as an individual, represented by Capricorn, and not lose my nurturing self, represented by Cancer? How do I become my own inner authority and not be dependent on others? Energetically, I can envision this as spreading my energy out to my loved ones. The challenge is to breathe it back into my own body so I can effectively set boundaries. These are challenges for all of us this month. So be thinking about how you can build this lighted house. How can you bring the light into the dark places within you? How can you stand strong in your own power and keep an open and loving heart? Let us prepare now for our visualization. Begin by making sure you are comfortable and in a place where you will not be disturbed. Take a moment now to focus your attention on the breath cycle, breathing slowly and evenly. And feel the emotional body become quiet and still as you continue with this breathing for a few more moments. And notice how this gentle breathing brings you home into the body. Feel this alignment take place within your body. Now take a moment to invoke your allies in the unseen worlds. See if you can tune into the sacred feeling that arises when you pause, breathe, and imagine these guides, teachers, and angels around you. See if you can sense their presence. Can you breathe into your own sacred nature, affirming your divinity? This is your lighted house. Are you dwelling within it? Let us call forth the energies of Cancer and ask that they pour down upon us. Imagine the color of Cancer, which is green. See it descend into your room. And with intention, breathe it into your heart. You are filling yourself with the nurturing, tender energy of this water sign, making a place for it within your lighted house. Now, filled with this energy of the mother, sit with these questions for a few minutes. How big is my lighted house? Can I invite everyone I know into my house, into my heart to be fed and nurtured and loved? Now imagine opening your heart to the whole world. This light can dissolve all obstacles, can transmute hindrances and dispel illusions. Can you welcome it into your life? How much light can you tolerate? And how do you expand your capacity to hold more? Usually the light does not come as a blinding flash. It creeps in slowly, one ray at a time, until the body becomes a radiant expression of love. This is your lighted house. Let us now see in our mind's eye our planet, Mother Earth. Picture her as if seeing her from outer space, and imagine her as a lighted house. See the light of understanding pour down upon her. See the light of goodwill pour down upon her. See the light of empathy and compassion pour down upon her. See the light of universal human rights pour down upon her. And now let this be our prayer for this Cancer month. Pour down upon us the love, the light of the Christ. This is our dwelling place. Within this love, may all beings be at peace. May all beings be safe from harm. May all the children of the world be loved and cared for and safe. Om. And now bring yourself slowly back and feel yourself back in your body, sitting in your chair or lying down, connected to the mother and grounded in the earth. Now a poem called The House of Belonging by David White. I awoke this morning in the gold light, turning this way and that, and thinking for a moment it was one day like any other. But the veil had gone from my darkened heart, and I thought it must have been the quiet candlelight that filled my room. It must have been the first easy rhythm with which I breathed myself to sleep. It must have been the prayer I said, speaking to the otherness of the night. And I thought, this is the good day you could meet your love. This is the black day someone close to you could die. This is the day you realize how easily the thread is broken between this world and the next. And I felt myself sitting up in the quiet pathway of light, the tawny close-grained cedar burning round me like fire, and all the angels of this housely heaven ascending through the first roof of light the sun had made. This is the bright home in which I live. This is where I ask my friends to come. This is where I want to love all the things it has taken me so long to learn to love. This is the temple of my adult aloneness. And I belong to that aloneness as I belong to my life. There is no house like the house of belonging. Let us close now with the great invocation. From the point of light, within the mind of God. Let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Just real quick.